Good Sunday evening, everybody. Hope everybody that's watching is having a good day. Daryl's having a problem with his sugar, so he won't be in. Hope you're doing better there, Daryl. I understand. Hello, Lisa Ann. How you doing, dear? Hope you're doing fine. So yeah, we've had a soggy week here all week. Last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, rained on and off and everything. I was really hoping to get my grass mowed this weekend, but that didn't happen. I walked down through the yard, the backyard, the low spots, and there was still ponding water laying down there. So we won't get it mowed today. It's supposed to rain again tonight. It's supposed to rain again tomorrow. Wednesday is about the first day that we're not supposed to have any rain, and hopefully it'll dry up enough that I can get back through there, and I may have to call the local farmer and have it baled. But that's what's been going on. Working on monkey business, getting it all nut and bolted. I did order a carburetor rebuild kit for it. Just got here today. Matter of fact, just right before I started the live stream, it showed up. I was hoping it would come in earlier in the day so I could do it, but it didn't. So we'll just work on through the week. It's dumping like lots of fuel down into I think the float's stuck open on it. So, but I haven't ran a tractor in almost 20 years, something like that. So, I think we show some love to it and throw a carburetor kit on it. So, but we did all that. Ooh, 5 hours of rain. Wow. Yesterday it was just like misty on and off, not real heavy stuff, but the days before it was enough that, it wetted the ground and puddled up and everything else. So, I've been going through monkey business, getting everything ready to go. Got the other back tire on. Hey, Willie, what's happening? Any Streamlink? Yeah, I got one here. Let me get it copied here, and we'll paste it. There we go. Hey, Ken, how you doing, brother? But Willie, while you're here, I like that video you did on that 18 horse Simplicity a week or so ago. I like them old 18s. Hey, there's Willie. Hey, Willie. So, that was a good video you did on that 18 Simplicity, man.
Yeah, I heard on your video I was listening into today. You were looking for me. I missed you.
Yeah. I
was pretty sick last week, so I was coughing and sneezing and hacking and all the above. And even today, I'm still choking every now and then, but it's not like I feel bad.
Hey, Thomas, how you doing, brother? John, how you doing? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, I've been fighting that ear infection for over a month now, or almost 2 months. It comes and goes, and I'll go 2, 3, 4 days, can't even feel anything, and then all of a sudden I wake up in the morning that my right ear will be all plugged up and pressure and everything else, and
it happens to me when the humidity goes up, and I'll lay on one side, and then my the sinuses that run from from your eyes to your nose are always blocked up on me when I'm sleeping.
Yeah,
I think that just comes with being a big guy. I don't know.
I've never ever had an issue with it until just this past year. Hey, Barry, how you doing? But I guess I'm gonna have to break down and actually go back to the doctor again and tell him I need something more than steroids to get this.
There was a period of time where my ears would get blocked up for long periods of time from congestion issues from sleeping. whether I gets hot in my room or something like that. I had to use nasal spray for like 6+ weeks sometimes to get things to finally clear out. I might have one ear blocked for a week or two.
Yeah, this is I'm saying it's an infection because every once in a while when it does drain, uh, it's like green and yellow nasty crap in that. It's not
It
just
doesn't
a
feel normal.
right. So, but it really sucks when you're trying to diagnose stuff when you can't hear. You know, so I actually a friend of mine wanted me to go for a ride with him in his car. He's having a noise, and it's like a rubbing, vibrating noise. Uh, we rode for probably 2 miles, and I looked at him and I said, "Dude, I said I can hear it." I said, "But I cannot tell you where it is coming from." I said, "Without having both ears to be able to, you know."
There's one instance I had a Jeep that was making a bearing noise, a Jeep Liberty. And this was only a couple of years ago, so it was an older Jeep, as you can imagine, because we quit making Liberties, I think, since 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking it's a differential or something like that. Well, it turns out both wheel bearings are making noise.
This turned out to be a heat shield that was it's all wheel drive. It's a Jeep. I don't remember what Jeep model it is.
Was like a inline mount or transverse mount?
It's just I didn't get underneath and look. He actually took it back to the dealership because he bought the extended warranty on it, and they said it's a heat shield that's has come loose and dropped down. They've already done 2 or 3 heat shields on it that were covered under warranty. They're saying this one's not covered under warranty now, and he's had them done within the last 2 years. So he's like, what the heck can I do? I'm like, well, get underneath there and look and see if there's those little stamp nuts that hold it up in. It's just rotted around that or what. I said, if I rivet it in, I said, basically just go off to the side of it a little bit, get you a nice stainless steel washer and a zip screw and zip it up in there.
As crazy as it sounds, Kia doesn't use aluminum heat shields anymore like they used to, but the heat shields that were retained with a plastic nut on a stud didn't rot away like the ones that had those one-way washers that would hold them up in.
Yeah.
I guess the plastic nut wasn't enough conductor for that galvanic corrosion.
Yeah. Well,
so sometimes you can zip time and then they're fine.
Usually what I've seen is that little nut or whatever that holds them up in, or the rivet that holds them up in, it's fine. It's rotted right out around it like it's been flexing, and it drops down. So
also where all the salt will collect off the body, it'll drip right to where that hardware is at and stick there.
Yeah. So
you gotta be careful nowadays because I've seen where heat shields come off and you get heat going someplace it's not supposed to melt stuff anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of disgusting.
Well, what I usually do is I like the rivet ones better because I can drill that rivet out and put another rivet in it. But I got big stainless steel body washers at the shop. I use one of those and put a little anti-corrosion spray and stuff up in there. Put that new rivet back up in there, and boop, done. No more rattle.
I've done once on one car just to make it work. Like you said, it would rot right around the washers.
Yep.
And you have a customer waiting or something like that. It's like, you want me to try and fix this thing quick, just make it work. And you loosen up the nuts, you move the whole thing over a half an inch, and you tighten them back up again. And then you're good for a little while.
Yep.
Until it rots to friend.
The ones I used to really like are the ones around the catalytic converters that would crack from vibration, and then they'd sit there at an idle and squeal or vibrate or whatever, and either get back up in there with the MIG welder and just tack it back in place, or do the old hillbilly trick and put a big ass hose clamp around it, and it's good for 2 or 3 years, and but so yeah, trying to get monkey business done because we got a poll coming up this coming Saturday. If it don't rain, we've been having rain on and off all the time. So
I got 16 horse sitting on my workbench. I'd like to work on, but I don't have the money for it right now. I got other stuff to work on. My Buick, I don't know if I told you, but I'm sure you've probably seen my videos of my 92 Buick on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I put a lot of money in that thing. I got that car for $600, and I put $3,000 into repairs. Because it was an old car when I got it. It had $111,000 on it. So got new brake lines, shocks, rack and pinion, power steering pump, tires and brakes, the whole 9 yards. And I drove that car over 30,000 miles up until last year, where it needed brakes front and back, one master cylinder, bearing, drums, rotors. After all that was fixed, then the brake booster failed. That was another $200. And this is after putting $800 into all the leaks on the motor. And then the dimmer switch broke on, and I got fed up with it. It's like, if anything else breaks on this, and this is my daily driver, it's like, I'm going to have a problem. I don't want to get a ticket or something. So I invested into a newer truck, that diesel I told you about. I was getting ready to get it up fixed and put it up for sale. I find out the gas tank's leaking on it. And the engine mounts are bad after 30,000 miles. Oh. Yeah, we might even go to other things to try and get some stuff sold and make room.
Yeah, I've been looking at my couple trucks sitting here and thinking it's time to let them go down the road. My 96 Dodge, I got to do a little frame repair on it, and then more than likely I'll probably let it go down the road. It's rusting out bed wise and stuff pretty good. And then my 99 Silverado, I'm kind of holding on to it as a backup truck.
Silverado?
99.
I don't think they had the frame issues like the later years did they? Like the 09s, the frames break apart on them.
Oh, this one has had frame issues. It's missing a couple cross members, and I've already welded a couple patches in the frame.
But it's not the one that they didn't have the drain holes where it drops down in front of the axle and they snap right off underneath the bed. I don't think they typically break there on those ones.
Yeah, well,
and I hate to say it, but the emissions have come in like a freaking hammer in the last 15, 20 years.
So we don't have the emissions stuff here where I live, so I don't have to worry about that.
No, I'm talking about like this active fuel management and MDS systems. And how many 1.5s, 1.2s, or even 2.4 liters are now just dying left and right from timing chain or turbo issues? It's not even funny. You won't even be able to find a used car in probably 5 years from now for under $5-6 grand because they're going to have cost of a motor in them.
Right. Yeah, I see Mudster come in. Hi, Mudster. Renegade, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in.
I like what the one guy said, Uncle Tony's Garage, when he was talking about survivable vehicles and how he's been buying up all these 90s style and early 2000s Grand Cherokees because they're cheap, and if you get them with an inline six, they typically are in good mechanical condition, with the exception of like axles and transfer cases, from what I've heard being issues, problematic on them. But he highly recommended the two-wheel drives, which I never really looked into until he mentioned it. It's like, oh yeah, the suspension would probably be smoother than most of driving on those.
But yeah, I've been hanging on to my 99 just as a backup truck and stuff. But also, I was looking at some rolling chassis minibuses, the Chevy Express ones. I can pull that 5.3 out of that truck air, throw in some bearings and some rings, and have a really nice engine for the minibus. You know, I can do a Holley or a Aces ECM for it. That way I don't have to mess with changing the ECM and stuff over. They make a nice kit that you can just plug and play. So to do like the LS swap type stuff. So is John in trouble? Don't know, maybe. But yeah, and there was a local consignment auction this past what was it? Friday, Saturday, something like that. And they had, I think, 4 20-foot enclosed trailers, uh, a couple of 18s, a couple of 16s, and then they had one 16-footer, and it was an old one, old steel frame jobber. It
Where they have the roof, fiberglass, aluminum.
It was aluminum roof, but the side man door is ripped off and laying inside. Starting bid on it was $150. My brother was watching it, and one of my friends was watching them. They were watching the whole auction, but
a little short for 4 tractors, but you should be able to fit 3 in there pretty comfortably.
16 by 7, you can actually fit 4 tractors in fine.
Okay, I figured it might be a little bit short because I know mine typically hang off a bit. I leave the wheelie bars on them.
Yeah, you can stagger them and get them in there. I've seen guys put four of them in a 16-footer. So, but
I have a flatbed that's 16 feet, and I usually have to run like the wheels are all the way up against the front, and then the wheelie bars usually hang off the back a little bit by the time I have all my implements on.
Yeah,
I figured you'd have all your weights and your pulling tractor, or no, not your toter tractor, different things like that in there, and probably make it a little bit tight.
Yeah. Well, I only have to haul 2 right now in the toter, so a 14-foot would be.
I might be running wider than you though too, because I don't have the aftermarket rims, and my Simplicities have that tapered fenders on the back, so you have to be wide in order to fit a decent width tire on them.
I'm just a
bit wider than probably the Cub Cadets would.
My Cub Cadet's just under 4 foot wide on the back. So at 7 feet, you can put one on forward, one on backwards, bypass them, and you can get 4 of them in a 7 foot by 7 foot wide trailer. So, but yeah, I was kind of looking at that cheap trailer, but then again, I started thinking that 16 foot would be nice. I just don't know if I would want to tow it with my Dakota. It would have the engine and everything. I just don't know if it would have the weight to be able to control it. So,
well, something I was going to do with my truck is I got that Canyon, and I think the max hitch weight on that factory, I think, was 900 pounds tongue weight or something like that, and that's if your bed is empty. By the time you load your bed, you got all the extra weight, and it squats down quite a bit. I got I don't know if you ever heard of Road Active suspension. They have the springs that go on the back of the leaf springs, like the spring assist that goes on the back of the leaf spring.
Yeah,
doesn't adjust up. I'm gonna put that on with a transfer hitch and see how that drives. I'm hoping that'll be enough, and I won't have to add airbags. But I do have a set of airbags in my watch list on eBay that will fit a head on the front half of the leaf spring, so I don't have to take one off. I can have both systems on if I wanted to.
Yeah, my truck actually had airbags on it at one time. Of course, they've gone by the wayside by now.
But the way I figure it, I'd rather have the pressure up on the bumper side of the axle, kind of keep the frame from bending. Like if you have weight pushing up, it's going to keep the frame more straight.
Right.
Is my plan. Is my idea of thinking.
Well, the guy that I got the truck from before he passed, he used to tow a 24-foot camper trailer with it. So I'm sure it'd be perfectly fine. I don't know if he was going up and down the hills and stuff that I would be going up and down the secondary roads and stuff. But for now, I'll just take one of it. Well, my brother's got it's a 12 or 14 foot open trailer, a wide one. So I'm just going to use it, put both tractors on it whenever I take both tractors, and we'll just go a little slower up and down the hills. That's all, Buick Wildcat convertible. Yeah, I'm sure. At Hall it's got the V8 and everything. It's got the same engine and suspension, everything as the full size 1500 Ram that year. But just weight wise of the truck itself, I don't want to be pushed around. I've seen lots of guys haul big trailers with small trucks, and inevitably they end up, jackknifed or, whatever.
You're definitely going to want an LT too, on the
Yeah.
back at least.
Getting
Get rid of
pushed.
some of that, what do you call it? Fishtail.
Right. So
I was
yeah.
actually surprised if you have a tow package on the Canyons, they automatically come with 18s. They don't come with the 17s that get tow package. I imagine obviously the shorter the sidewall, the less flex there is. Passenger tires.
So, but speaking of my truck, I finally did get the front struts to put on it. Got those from Detroit Axle. I like Detroit Axle stuff. I just don't like their shipping.
Yeah, I heard. I already heard your video from last week. I caught up on it today, so yeah, I remember hearing about it.
Well, I mean, you order it through Amazon, right from Detroit Axle, and they'll come either via UPS or FedEx, and they don't offer Prime, so you got to pay shipping and stuff on it, and it takes a week and a half to get here.
Especially with China being all screwed up with stuff too.
Well, they're not China from Detroit Axle. They're U.S. made stuff.
Oh, okay.
But it just, I mean, and usually it'll say like this stuff was supposed to be in on Tuesday, and it actually got bumped to Thursday or Friday, and I have very specific instructions on delivery through Amazon because they like to throw the stuff on the porch right there by the side of the driveway that everybody can see right from the road, and I'm not that far off the road where the porch's stuff's at. And every time, if it's not delivered by anybody but FedEx or anybody but Amazon, that's where they usually end up throwing the shit. And that time it'd been raining, and so luckily the stuff in the box couldn't get hurt via water. But still, the box was super soggy and everything. I had to rip the box open and take the strut.
I think UPS typically has bags for that, or at least the UPS driver by me always puts stuff in bags.
This was FedEx, and that's usually what they do. But yeah, I've never had anything in a bag. 99% of the time, they'll just throw it on, because I got the front. I call it the front porch. It's actually the side porch that faces my driveway, which is technically my front door. And then I have a door that faces the back of the house. And they'll throw them on one of those two porches. Rain, shine, doesn't matter. I've had other stuff that they've thrown on there, and it was stuff that could get damaged. Luckily, it was in plastic bags inside the box. But by the time I get home from work, the boxes are soaking wet. So, but
hey, Scott Keller, I have a bit of a story for you. Driving an 87 Dodge the first time with 5,000 pounds behind it, a D100. I had to learn real quick not to compensate for the wiggle and just hold the steering wheel perfectly still and wait for it to settle out. And you go around corners like this. Because as the body would lean, it would turn more.
Yeah, but well, back when I had a camper, I actually had the weight transfer hitch and stuff like that on it. It was nice. It had the little like shock absorber thing on there to anti-sway bar or whatever you call it.
No, this is a square body Dodge, a first gen, so it's got the crossfoot on it. They all drive nice.
Well, this was a 94 Dodge Ram. So
that'd be the second gen, so it probably didn't. Yeah. Oh wait, is that when they start having a new body style? That
was the first year they made the
second gen. Yep.
Yeah, the second gen. But luckily, somebody had put heavier suspension on it. It's got like 3/4 ton rear suspension on it. So I mean, it pulled trailers nice, and I pulled open trailers and everything else with it, and I logged many, many mile, either pulling a camper or pulling a trailer with pulling tractors and stuff on it. Heck, at that time, the trailer I was using, the open trailer I was using at the time to haul my tractors, it weighed almost 2,000 pounds empty, and then I'd throw 1,500 pounds worth of tractors and weights and everything else on it. And if I put 2 tractors on it,
well, I think there's a couple issues why the A7 Dodge doesn't tow good. First of all, it doesn't have sway bars. It's got those strut links on the front. That's about all you have as for anti-sway. And on the back, the shocks are mounted at an angle, so you don't have that 1-to-1 or 1.51 ratio like you would on a heavyweight truck. So even though you have air assist in the shocks are such an angle and so close to the axle, there's no angle to them that they don't do much.
Well, I've been actually, like I said, I want the minibus deal. It's a because it's a 1 ton and stuff. But I've been looking at some internationals with sleepers on them, single rear axles. I can buy one of those for almost less than what I can buy one of the minibuses for. And
just think out loud, now's the time to probably buy them because people are hurting for money and gas prices are high. As soon as fuel prices start coming down, it might not be as easy to find them for sale. Well,
and that's the thing with the international type truck. The only problem with that is getting it. It has to have here in Ohio. It has to have. You can have them have the because it's a CDL truck, but you can have it converted to an RV. But it has to have a bathroom, cooking. Yeah, it has to have a stove or a microwave or something like that in it, and something else.
Fridge probably.
To have it converted, to have it classified as an RV toter.
They want running water, so they want a pump and a gray water tank.
Well, see, I actually found a self-contained. I'm planning on getting one for the minibus. It's a self-contained toilet and sink. It's a composting toilet, and it has a water tank off to the side that you can mount that has a pump in it. So it has a little sink and a toilet, all as a package deal for like $250. Because I know to convert the bus over to an RV, that's one of the things it has to have. It has to have a bathroom.
That's one thing my brother's going to have to look into on his bus. Is it going to be easier just to keep it as a bus registration, or does he register as a salvage title and make it as a hauler and get a tow rating for it, or does he make it an RV and retitle it? There's so many ways he can go with it here in Pennsylvania.
Right.
But making an RV isn't as easy, but then it's also cheaper insurance and easier to put more passengers in it. But if you don't not taking passengers, then that's a different story. There's a lot of variables in there.
Right.
But he wants to be able to haul his truck Stinky Pete out to shows, and if it ever broke down, he can still get home.
Right.
And he can travel the country on a waste oil in the bus instead of Stinky Pete and carry everything around.
Hey, Kane, how you doing, brother? Thank you for stopping in.
Anyway, I get to talk to you a little bit more about that video you saw about the air-charged engine. There's a lot of interesting dynamics in that setup. All they had was a pressure regulator going into the intake manifold, but they just pushed a button and a valve would open. And they were adjusting their manifold pressure with a actuator, so the excess air would just go out the air filter. So they'd open and close the actuator for the air. But even then, if they had no boost pressure and had that valve open, that air being released from 3,000 psi to atmosphere pressure is going to be so cold that just cold air in itself is going to be a power increase. And when you think of how engines work, they're heat pumps. So when you're talking about, he was running on gasoline because the alcohol was blowing out. Mm-hmm. Sheer pressure isn't what makes horsepower. it's your pressure differential that makes horsepower. So if your air is going in super cooled, you only have to increase that temperature a little bit to make horsepower, which I thought was interesting on how that would work. So because it's going in cooler, there's more expansion, and you don't have that high heat that would cause detonation. So there's quite a few advantages to what they were doing with that. It was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
And on your talk about exhaust on the 2-cycle, that expansion chamber doesn't exactly cause any back pressure or vacuum in a way. Exhaust gas flow is very dynamic, especially in a 2-cycle when you don't have a piston shoving it out a valve. It's that exhaust gas has momentum behind it, and it's also when it's out of the cylinder and into the exhaust, it's hitting all the outside metal surfaces of that exhaust and cooling. As it's cooling, it's contracting, and that contraction is then pulling negative pressure behind it because you have your momentum going forward, and you also have your contraction from cooling, which also carries more momentum forward. And then that's why the pipe chokes back down again, is because the exhaust gases are cooling, they're taking up less space, and you don't need that big volume. Very dynamic system. That's why I thought it was interesting when Engine Masters did an episode on exhaust. They found some of the best flow they had was duals into a long header duals into a collector into a larger single muffler out the back was one of the best flows. And that's because the exhaust carries the same speed and momentum through the whole system. It doesn't slow down or speed up through the whole exhaust system.
Well, on this one here, they were showing it working as like a pulse jet rocket engine. Uses,
yeah, it had a check valve or something like that.
It used the pulses of the exhaust with the chambered exhaust to actually make vacuum.
Yep.
So Kane said he's baked. Hopefully you're not baked beans. Hopefully you're just a baked potato.
One thing I did with my V-twin, because I didn't want to make a super expensive exhaust, is that one cylinder that fires first is the one that has the straight shot out into the Y pipe. And then the cylinder that falls behind it is the one that fires in at the angle. Because I figure when that exhaust is going out, it's going to have momentum, it's going to carry the next one behind it, and it won't be high pressure in that collector that I made work on that one Briggs Vanguard build. I don't know what my thinking was with that.
Yeah, well, I just went with bullhorns on Monkey Business because that was what was on it before, and it worked great. What I want to do now, now that I got the pipe length, I just want to put a bigger bellow on it and just get the tone. You know, I got the exhaust pressure and stuff that I need. Back pressure, I mean.
What I've seen some people do, which is pretty funny, is those GT18s that had the post-twin Briggs engines.
Mm-hmm.
They just want straight pipes. More straight you can have them, and as long as they're over 12 inches, those flatheads are happy. They don't care about long tubes or collectors or anything like that. And I see people just put straight out at that, what is it, like a 68-degree angle. Those ports come out, and they just go straight out.
Yeah, well, I don't like cutting holes in hoods and stuff like that,
Yeah,
in case you ever change engines and stuff. So I use them little stainless steel 90s and chopped them up and kind of spot welded them all back together. And I actually had a company that they must have watched that video because they sent me a sample pack of sanding discs and stuff, which I'm going to be doing a video on this week for. They're the little DA style twist lock sanding discs. So, but yeah, they got a hold of me and asked if I'd be interested in trying them out. I'm like, sure. You know, I may own a welder, but I ain't a welder. You know, so
yeah, I use those sanding discs all the time at work cleaning calipers, and I burn through them like they're going out of style.
Yep. And
trying to get the slides clean. There's not much you can get in there, and a file doesn't hardly touch the rust that's in them a lot of the time.
Right. Well, this comes with
the sides off of the wheel pretty quick.
Yeah, this comes with four different 4 different
You don't know,
heads.
is it like a flappy kind of sanding disc, or is it
No.
just a flat abrasive?
They're flat abrasive and the Scotch Light or Scotch Brite pads, and then the mantle or the
Is it like a
bitted-
fiber backed or paper backed?
I haven't opened the box up to look. I just looked online what they were, but there's some that are sticky backed and some that are the twist lock, and they come with a mandrel for 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch, and one has like a flexi foam pad for the sticky style for like a DA body DA. Jeff, buddy, how you doing, man? Sorry, Willie. Jeff hasn't been here for a while. Hope you've been doing good, buddy. Kane, they're cleared out in the garage, and I don't feel like going out to the garage to get them. So
That's fine. I buy the cheapest ones I can find at the swap meets. Even when I buy an expensive one, I'm chewing the sides off them. It's not worth getting a better one.
right.
But I do try to stay away from the ones that I'd rather ones that are like fiber, kind of like wet sandpaper backed, rather than the paper backed ones, because the paper rolls over and then you can't get the abrasive into where you need it.
Right. Well, this is like a sample pack deal, like a starter kit. They do offer just the discs and stuff. I want to say, don't quote me on the price, but I think for the whole kit, it'll all be in the video. I don't want to quote a price. It wasn't very expensive, and they look like, online. Like I said, I haven't opened a box yet.
You want to talk about promotions? There's one company that I've probably got 6 or 7 emails, and there was one email in particular I kept replying back to them like, you don't even sell anything that I use.
Oh, I get them all the time for housewares. And
HIPAA, for some reason, has asked me multiple times about doing a collab or sponsorship for videos. It's like, you barely sell one FlowJet carburetor, and it's the medium-sized one, not even the large-sized one. From what I could see on eBay that was available at the time. And I asked them, okay, can you at least get me like a parts catalog or something like that of what your selection is? And then they said, oh, you can go on the online store. It's like, I want a book. I can't see your universal stuff shifting through an online store.
Yeah, I use a lot
I'm
of
working on stuff that's from the 60s up to the 90s, and most of the stuff they're selling is for newer equipment. And I don't work with 2-cycle.
Yeah, I actually bought a lot of two-stroke carburetors from HIPAA.
Yeah.
They work really, really well.
Well, I'm not saying they sell bad products, but it's like I'm not a sponsorship kind of guy because there's nothing I can try.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they sell any kind of Viton tubing fuel line. I think most of their stuff that they sell was it NHTP or whatever it is. I can't think of the acronym for that.
Yeah.
Nylon style fuel line, and then they have Tygon. And there's a lot of variants of Tygon. Some of it's good, and some of it's just upright terrible.
Right.
I've had Tygon line that you put it on, and 2 weeks later, it's hard as a rock and shrinking.
Yep.
So I don't really want to mess with that stuff. I buy that Viton tubing, and I never have to do it again. I don't have to put clamps on it because it never loses its elasticity.
Right.
Like, I can put it onto a nipple, it'll stay tight. I can take it off, and it might be swollen up for a month or two, but it eventually shrinks back to its original shape. It's the same kind of material they make mule seats out of.
Right.
It's expensive. It's anywhere from $6 to $11 a foot, but you only have to do it once.
Yeah,
So if you get a regular cheap fuel line now, you're spending $1.50 a foot.
Yeah, I probably get 8 or 10 emails a week from different places that want me to do a video or whatever, but 90% of it's housewares or gardening stuff or, and it's always the same email. Oh, we've been watching your channel and we think we'd be a great fit.
I don't think they watch, because if they did, they'd realize, like, oh, wait a minute, he doesn't work with anything that I work with.
Yeah, yeah. I actually had another company reach out to do.
But you can't say
lighting.
anything bad to these people because they have it rough out in China. There was actually a company that was giving me a hard time when I got that one fuel pump. They were all worried about bad reviews on eBay and how it would reflect on his review. And then I'm thinking about it, and I know how bad these businesses are run out in China. Can you imagine being a salesman and having to have good reviews, and you get one bad review and you have to get a pay cut or get fired or demoted? Or even worse, your family shames.
I guess I'm not going.
I'm not trying to be,
Well, there I am.
what's the word, empathetic or anything.
Why nobody else is on here?
It's a tough spot to put someone in.
Hi, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
So I can see why they're desperate to try and make as much business as they can out in China, but if you don't have something that's going to help me, I'm not going to go out of my way to test it or promote it.
Yeah, well, I also got just got an email where they're actually sending me a product for shop lighting. I'm getting the UFO Halo style LED lights. They're going to send me one to do a product test on, and I've got it. I don't show it a lot in the videos, but I do have a dark spot in my shop that light will be awesome to have in there because the way the pattern comes out.
Hey, we got Nate in the chat.
Yep, there's Nate. How you doing, Nate? Nate's coming along with his fish pond. He's a guppy daddy. So yeah, that should be coming here in this next week. And I'll be doing a video on it, kind of integrating it into my other videos. That's the nice thing too. That's the other thing. I don't like the ones that send me the request to work with them, and they want dedicated videos, X amount long, blah blah blah. You know.
You got to be careful with some of that stuff, because some of that stuff is, you need a video ad for Amazon listings. They might just be using you to get an Amazon listing put together.
Well, that's the thing too. Being as I have an Amazon store and I'm affiliate, I got to be real careful on what I get from Amazon.
Conflict of interest issues.
Yeah, as much as I can tell, if I read the rules and regulations, I can get free stuff from Amazon sellers. I just can't put it in my store to sell because I'm making money off of, like commission or whatever. Because there's always I've never gotten any commission from anything I've did videos on from Amazon, but sorry, I'm reading the comments here, so I can't do two things at once. But I can do videos, and the other ones I flat out turn down as soon as I read them are the ones that want me to buy the product, review it, and they'll reimburse me.
Sure.
No.
And then if you don't do a good job, but no, it didn't follow our guidelines.
Well, if it's a good product, I will have already bought it. I'm not gonna put out the money for a crappy product, and I think I did a Vevor, that went nowhere. They've offered me a couple other things, and I'm like, no, that's okay. The videos didn't do that well. So I'm very selective about what I want to get on Renegade's list. Whatever list he's on, they send him welder after welder and plasma cutters and everything else,
I think it comes down to the audience.
Yeah.
I'm sure YouTube has an algorithm saying these are the videos that people are watching in relation to welding videos, and they probably have a short list and then these people can see these names, like, okay, we'll work with this guy or that guy or something like that. I don't think they're searching for these YouTube channels. They just call YouTube, and YouTube tells them these are the channels that people are watching on welding stuff, and then advertisers get in touch then.
Yeah. Yeah, because I would really like to have TIG welded those pipes together on Monkey Business, but
That's actually one thing I should probably look into doing one of these days is go through my content and see what video suggestions are suggesting each of my videos and just take notes of what the common subject is. And then probably stick with that. Like my engine comparison videos usually do better than, say, my Rusty Revival video, which did not go very far for some reason.
Hey, Ed, I made it.
Hi, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, the first time I tried, all it was showing was the bear. It wasn't showing you guys.
Oh.
And I wasn't hearing nothing.
Well, I'm glad you finally made it in. How you been doing, buddy? We were actually just talking about you not being in for a couple weeks, man.
Oh, it hasn't been easy. The weather, working on the muddy brush truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the hub. I got new brakes. I got the hub back on one side. I got to do the other side still. I had to take the hub and get it all re-drilled for the axle studs.
Getting bigger, putting bigger studs in it?
No, can't go bigger. The 3 studs and the holes were all helicoiled and stripped and everything. So I took it to the machine shop guy here, and he drilled another set of 8 holes in between.
Okay.
I got the carburetor on finally.
Good. I'm glad.
I don't know what's going on with. Well, it runs great, but I still can't get the stupid thing to idle. So it's got to have some kind of vacuum leak or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of truck was it? I didn't catch it.
It's a Mighty International 1300.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came from your side of the river.
So I'm guessing you can't go to the auto parts store and get international parts very easily.
Well, I could get them. It's just, like stuff like a carburetor. I ordered that from this place in California, and they sent it, put it on.
I'm sure just shipping
The
alone.
other parts, the brake parts are a challenge because some of the stuff Napa has to really chase down to find it and stuff.
Just find bearings for my 92 Buick because it's limited with the ABS monitor on the rear bearings. Just
Yeah.
trying to find ABS rear bearings for the WBI cars is like almost impossible because most of those cars didn't come with ABS back in the early 90s.
Oh, it's like the wheel cylinders for this on the back there. I just, I went on the Napa page and I scrolled down and I found, left rear, right rear and stuff. So I bought them and I should have thought about it. And if I knew that it has 1/4 inch brake lines in the back and 3/16 in the front. Well, the only ones you could get are the 3/16 drilled cylinders. So I went over to Napa and I looked around and I found little adapters that go from 1/4 inch down to 3/8 to put in these. Because I look at it, it's like, well, I'm not running all new brake lines on here because these ain't that old.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that before too because there ain't no sense in running all new brake lines if you don't have to.
Yeah, that's expensive with the hoses and the fittings and stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
But here's my question to you, Ed, which I think I'm probably right. You think if the booster itself is no good, which I know it doesn't work, could that be pulling vacuum through that? That's why you can't get it to idle?
Very, very well. Very well could be.
Sometimes the vacuum affects the piston in the booster and can open or close jets sometimes on different carbs.
Easiest thing is to pull that line off and cap it off and see if it at the carburetor and see if it changes. If it
Yeah,
does,
I could do that.
There's always a brake cleaner trick too.
Yeah.
Well,
Uncle Mark,
I'm not worried about that yet. I'm just trying to get them back in, put back together.
Is it a 2-barrel or a 4-barrel or?
It's a 2-barrel. It's a Holly 2977. That took some digging to find out what kind of carburetor it was.
Or if it's could be isolated on both banks or one bank that's acting up.
Well, it's only a
You get a
2-barrel.
temperature gauge on both manifolds and see which one's hot or cold.
put a Holly sniper system on it. There you go. Just do away
I'm
with
not
the
putting
carburetor
nothing else on it. This thing costing me more than what I make.
They always do, Jeff. Even my tractors do that.
I got a dilemma. It's like I got all these tractors here now. Now I have that 17 GTH added to the group. It's like I don't have a place to store all these tractors. I gotta get rid of something, but then when I think about which one I want to get rid of, it's like I don't really want to get rid of that one. It's so hard to pick.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about getting rid of one of the Power Kings, and I looked at it and I said, I hate to get rid of the 71 because that's a nice little tractor, and I hate to get rid of the Ox. And then I talked myself out of it anyways.
I think I'm gonna sell my Alice Chalmers 712H. I'm gonna fix the cam knock on it and put it up for sale for probably $1,200. Because I know I got a lot of money into that because I fixed everything from the front to back. But now that I have that 17 GTH, it's kind of outdated. I mean, granted, it does have the strong arm I can stick on it, which would be a little bit nicer for plowing or snow blowing. And the hydro lift, because the hydro lift is like all the way up or all the way down. It's kind of hard to go in between. I'll bet you if I fool around with it, I could probably figure out how to limit the travel on that.
Well, after working on the back end of this truck, Ed, I really wished I had a place I could put this on a lift.
Lifts change everything.
It'd be
Yeah,
so much easier to work on this instead. I can't sit on the stool because I'm too high, and kneeling on the ground, you're kind of bent. I'm bent over because there ain't much room inside that wheel well, and you're standing on your head. And after about 5 minutes, it's like your back is just done.
Mm-hmm.
That and doing it in the sun because it's like no matter if I didn't, this thing not being able to fit in the garage, there's no place to put it where it's not in the sun all day.
What, as for getting it hot?
Huh?
As for it's too hot out in the sun?
Yeah, I can't deal with the sun now. It's like 5 or 10 minutes out there, and I gotta come back inside for about 20 minutes to take a break from it.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's like yesterday.
Tractors aren't common, but I'm kind of into my simplicities and my Craftsman bricks more than anything. And the Craftsman bricks are mainly just because they're cheap and easy to work on. And you can fit a big motor under the hood without stretching the frame.
Hi, Quick Wrench. Yeah, well, I'm taking a week's vacation here coming up because I got to burn. I got 3 weeks vacation to burn before July 1st, and I've been pricing 12 by 24 garages, the buy here or rent to own sheds, and I'm going to put one alongside my driveway, but it kind of slopes down real bad. So my plan is to take the week's vacation, get my brother's new to him utility tractor that has the backhoe and stuff on it, clean all the junk out over there, and there's some piles of fill dirt back to back corner of my property from when they cleaned the creek and stuff out. I'm gonna haul a bunch of that shit up, level it out nice, put a nice level load of gravel and stuff down across it, and I'm gonna have me a nice little garage drop there and set up, and that way I can get rid of that canvas tarp job, or that little 10x20 deal, which it says 10x20, but it's only like 8x20, 8x18, something like that.
Yeah.
It's done what it's done what it needed to do for a couple years, but the thing I don't like about it is the moisture comes up from the ground, and on all the stuff. So yeah,
Especially to get ice packed off the roof around the outside of the building, and it makes a dam all the way around too.
Yeah.
What'd you see? 12x24?
Yeah, 12x24.
You better go bigger than that.
That's the biggest I can get without having to pay for a hauling permit.
Oh.
And the hauling permit, I think they
You
said.
ever looked into one of those? What do you call it? What we did here is we had one of those fab buildings. We had my dad ordered a 4-bay building, and they just came and built it on site, and then they only put temporary anchors in. As for Nate, yeah, I just tilled my garden Monday here. I had to doze it flat because my one brother decided to put a load of dirt in it and left 12-inch ruts in it. It's like, oh, why? It was all flat, level, and mulched. Then he dumps new dirt with new rocks and leaves ruts in it. It's like, oh my goodness.
Well, I
looked an hour of work.
I looked at like the Versatube sheds and stuff.
Yeah.
They're nice. They're cheap and everything. But I want a floor, so I'd have to pour a concrete floor or something like that. And I don't know about any place else. But here, concrete is through the frickin' roof. It'd be twice as much. I looked at a 20x30, I think it was, two bay, 12-foot ceilings. To have the slab poured for that would be twice as much as the building. So
yeah,
the building's like $3,500 or $3,800 or something like that. You're talking over $6,000, $7,000 just for the concrete. And I don't have, the only place I would be able to put something like that would be either.
You want something that's going to be thick enough so that it heaves in the winter and doesn't crack too.
Right.
So you're probably going to need 6 to 8 inches probably of reinforced.
6 inches to drive on, to park vehicles and stuff on. And I don't have a place without having to go into the backyard. I just don't have a place big enough to put one of those right now. So 12x20 or 12x24 is the biggest I can go and still have it usable, because I'm gonna park my snowplow tractor and stuff in it. If I put it into the backyard, it drifts so bad around the corners of my garage going back here.
Double doors, like doors on either end, or you just gonna have doors on one side?
One roll-up garage door and one man door. And
it's not like you're actually going to be working on stuff in there.
No, it's going to be completely for storage.
I can tell you right now, 12x24 is just big enough to where you can open the doors on either side of the truck and do minor stuff around it. But to try and tear suspension apart and put it back together, that'd be tight.
No, this is going to be strictly for like tractor storage and mower storage and stuff like that. The one I'm looking at, I can order without lofts, because the lofts are like way expensive for them to put them in, but I can build them a whole lot
cheaper. The walls
cheaper.
have to be heavier duty and everything.
I can. It's the same. It's the same freaking building. They just charge you to put a loft in it. But I can build my own lofts in it and stuff. And being it's because the one now is only 10 foot wide, the new 12 foot. I'll have a nice walkway down the middle to get through, instead of having to climb over stuff. And I'll be able to get both my golf carts in and all my second chance mower. I can be able to get all my plow tractors. I heard
of an update on your golf carts. Figure out you were planning on putting the homeless Honda in one. Did you ever figure out what you're going to do with that yet, or no?
Yeah. I'm not gonna do that yet. I just actually bought a new carburetor for it. I need that thing up. I need it up and running for I can do some yard work and haul some stuff back to the burn pile and stuff like that. So I'm gonna run it with the golf cart motor that's in it, because it's got a power dump bed and stuff on it. I still got the homeless Honda. I still got plans on putting the Honda in it. I may actually switch plans and use the other Cushman golf cart and put the Honda engine in it and put a lift kit on it, because that's the problem I had with that thing is the height clearance for the motor. I'd have to drop the motor down a couple more inches and that'll take ground clearance away. But if I put bigger tires and stuff on it, I can raise it up and get the ground clearance. Yeah. So that cart may be the one that gets the homeless Honda put in it, and just leave my other Easy Go cart just stock with a twin cylinder Robin in it.
Those motors are pretty reliable as long as you don't blow a head gasket.
Yeah, they're real reliable as long as you don't over rev them. They're fine, and it's the thing. The thing has had carburetor issues since day one when I got it.
I know one that you knew it had oil in it when it smoked. Never died.
That's kind of the reason I got it cheap, is because they were having carburetor issues with it and didn't want to put money into it. And the lift kits for those are like way expensive. They wanted to put a 6-inch lift on it. And it was just cheaper for them to buy an electric cart with a lift kit and everything on it than, deal with that, having that engine fixed and the lift kit put on, the tires and all that kind of stuff. And it still wouldn't have a back seat. They wanted a 4-seater that has that one was made with a dump bed on it. So I got it really cheap. So and I want a utility cart to run around the property on, to just to haul stuff and just basically run around the house and stuff. And so I'll get the Cushman cart. I just had too many other projects come up, and
yeah, today I probably would have torn the engine out of that one rusty tractor, but it was raining all day.
Yeah. So
I guess I'll just do some laundry today. Tomorrow I'm gonna go out shopping. We gotta get some kitchen utensils for Mother's Day.
Well,
we got one pancake turner in the house.
I did laundry yesterday. I threw a little laundry in the washing machine before I went and helped my brother, because it was time to service his zero turn. We had to do the hydrostat oil and the filter on it, motor oil, sharpen the blades, all that kind of stuff. And then his sister, or great niece, something like that. They had one of them little Husqvarna homeowner grade zero turns that it's only about a year or so old, but it was time for service for it, sharpen the blades and oil change, all that kind of stuff. So I got everything to do that. So we serviced both mowers yesterday morning at the shop, and made a little ching ching for some tractor parts. So got all that done, and I come home, threw my laundry in the dryer, went out to the shop for a little bit, and I ended up sitting down and actually watching a whole entire movie without falling asleep last evening.
I wish I could do that.
I'd talk to you before, but I know it's 8 o'clock.
Yep. Oh yeah, it is 8 o'clock.
Next week.
So, all right, y'all. It's been an hour. Hope you all had a great time.
Say those three, but who's counting? Keep going.
I've got things to get done before I go.
Hey, maybe we'll see you next week.
I hope so, Jeff. Hope you keep doing well, buddy, and missed having you around. So, all right, y'all. Y'all have a great week. We'll see y'all next weekend.